What's up, fam?
What's up, family?
How y'all doing?
All right.
I'm coming right back. Go ahead.
So, what's up, family? Just keeping it real with Charles and Melendia. Look, we did say that we want to talk to you. We want to talk about relationships today. But first of all, we're going to ask you to subscribe to our channel. Also, hit the alert so you would be notified of any new videos that we do, any content.
Okay.
And we ask that you send in comments as well, because some of the subjects that we do tackle, we like to have your input on it. Because again, we want to join you with a partnership. And with that, I'm saying exchange ideas, because we definitely don't know it all. We are learning, even though Melinda and I have been in a relationship and marriage 40 years, and relationship for 47, 7 years prior to the marriage. So, have we learned a lot? Absolutely, yes. I would say this, good and bad. But the thing about it, we're still learning. So, whatever length of time you've been in relationship, um, I guess that's really not that important, because if you've been in a relationship 5 years and you and your significant other can actually communicate well, you know how to reason and talk things out, then you have you could say you've actually succeeded farther than a lot of us has been in marriages for over 20 years or so. So that's the thing, very important. So today we want to kind of tackle a few things. I say tackle. We want to go over a few things, and we want to share a few things with you. So what we believe is one of the keys. We say one of the missing keys. I think one of the vital missing keys to successful relationships. Most people talk about relationships, and this is one I think that is very well overlooked. And I think we need to put it in reverse, roll back, and chill and get this step right. So that's what we're here today for. Now you may be thinking,
I'm sorry.
"Oh, she's back."
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay.
Stuff just don't be acting right, right?
Mhm.
So
That's why
there you go.
we.
All right.
I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say. That's all
Uh,
right. I'll keep that one to myself.
so
It's the technology, term for the senior
whatever.
community.
I don't know
No.
what he talking about. We're just gonna say the more mature crowd.
Yeah. Okay.
So thanks for y'all hopping
Patience and all. Yes.
Yes.
First of all.
hopping
Yeah.
in with
Mhm.
us a little bit. Of course, I'm trying to sit back.
That's all right. You good. You good.
You know, we've had a little snippets about what we're going to talk about, right? And as we journey through this thing called life,
Right. Yeah.
we have to understand that relationship, you see it over there too. Relationships comes with knowledge, right? And understanding. So, but most of the times we miss it. Sometimes we miss it. So the most simplest things in our relationships, we miss the beginning of where we get this from. You know, is that
Okay.
what I'm saying? Like, where is relationships built on? What
Okay.
they're built on?
So, okay, exactly. The thing about it, I'm going to look back over my own life and with us. I remember working at a telecommunications company back in the
Long time
past.
ago.
Okay. So,
Long time ago.
listen, as a young, I was actually in my 20s. And I remember this lady came to me and she said, whatever you do, Jackson wasn't married. No, ma'am, I'm single. So, well, whatever you do, if you ever get married, she said, remember this.
What?
Always put God first. So I always remember that statement, but then as we progress in life and in our relationship, you and I were planning a wedding.
We were planning a wedding.
Right. And then guess what? The words came to me put God first. And I said, oh man, I didn't do that.
Mm.
We need to back off and we need to get the first steps right.
Mm.
Okay, so in order to build, why did I do that? Because again, it's so important that we get the foundation right. So if you're seeking a spouse, a boo, a friend,
a job,
a kick it around buddy, a
outside,
job,
outside,
right? Okay,
friends,
whatever you're trying to seek in life, that's the career, yes, that's the house, you know, that's the wealth, that's all of that. If you're seeking that, the first step, we believe, is to seek the kingdom first. Okay.
So, if you don't mind, before we get too deep in that,
go ahead. Mm-hmm.
As,
what do you mean too deep?
Because this is a deep subject, right?
Is it deep?
Subject. It can be, but we don't have to make it. You know, really... What I was going to say, if, you know, if you can put down in the chat where are you listening from?
Okay.
Where are you tuning in from? And chat with us a little bit. So, you know, again, kind of rewind a little bit for those that are new to joining us, and for those that are coming back, welcome back. Yes. You know, I am a native of Baltimore, and this husband.
I am a native of
the Carolinas,
South Carolina. Yep.
And that's
middle state. Yes.
That is all good. You know, I'm trying to do this other thing, and I don't know what this thing's doing.
And we're not seeing a lot of comments, so we may not be seeing a lot of comments on.
I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. Okay, so I can see it. So if you are, let's see, we got some folks join us. Thank you so much for joining. Right.
So we have a couple platforms.
Let me see. If I put it too close, are y'all good? Can you see that, babe? Because you know your eyes.
Oh, I'm good. I want to see you.
I'm saying, can you see the comment?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to kind of lean up to see him.
That's good.
All right, okay.
So,
love Jesus. Okay, definitely love him too.
So,
yes.
Y'all
Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much for joining. Let me see. Oh, I'm just moving around a little bit, just so y'all can see a little bit. But yeah, if you can put where you're joining from. And connect with us, like, share, and subscribe. Connect with us, because let me see what you see.
Okay.
Encourage us to
Joe
share live. Yes.
Okay.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Please share this live, and to your friends as we are connecting and chatting a little bit, because you know, connectivity and unity is what we need, right? Even in building our relationships is what we're talking about today. But we got to know where the author and finisher of our relationships start.
Yes, and we just said some things, and I relate a story, you know, myself actually during my teen years, or early 20s rather, and advice that I got. So some of the advice that I had gotten, you know, back in the day. So these are just some of the things that we want to share with you. Yeah. Again, the reason we chose this subject is because a lot of times we find ourselves seeking things, you know, more or less putting those things first over our relationship with God. And does anybody remember here, there was a story back in the day, a little kid story about the bird, and I think it was in the egg or whatever. I think mom either lost the egg, the bird hatched, and he was going to every animal asking, what was the question? Are you my
mama?
Are you my mama?
Are you my mama?
That's the way it seems that we are with relationships. Because we get on dating sites, we look for the boo, the possible one, the one to kick it with, and we do that. And we just search and say, that's not the one. We're not compatible. We're not this, that. And we a lot of times we think and think it's them for the most part. We think it's, oh no, they're not the one. They're not the one.
Right.
Go ahead. But then, swiping. It could be now. Don't get me wrong. It could be that.
Yes, it could be. And how I know about that, I do have children, young adult children. I don't be swiping.
Okay. Janie Ann, hey.
How y'all
love to
doing?
y'all.
Thank y'all so
I'm
much
Michelle.
for joining. I appreciate
Right. Love to
please
you.
share,
Definitely.
please share. But I guess what I was going to say too, in building relationships, is not always about marriage. That's
Correct.
what we were talking about.
Correct.
So
Right.
our platform is not just for marriages. You know, when we said love, life, and relationships, this encompasses everything that we do in life. And most of the time we, as my husband mentioned, we grab a hold to things, opportunities, tangible, things, and jobs, careers, whatever it may be, and don't put the first thing ahead of us. So
right.
when it comes to being successful in our relationships, in our commitments, in our bond, in our journey of talking with people, we miss it. And then we get ticked off as to, or annoyed as to why things didn't work out.
Sure.
And I must say, my husband and I, almost 40 years of marriage, we build our relationship in learning this. We
still
learn
building,
this.
still learning, yes.
Now, granted, 40 years ago, we did allow God to come into our life because he had put a hindrance on the marriage at first, right? Okay, all right, but that was probably the best thing, right?
You said put a hindrance on
it. He put a pause on it for a second.
Well, we had to pump the brakes, right?
Yeah,
because we were
not putting God
in
first.
the first order.
So, whatever situation you're in, when it comes to building your relationship, a successful relationship, a relationship that we're hoping to accomplish something in, must begin with that missing link, that missing piece, the beginning of what our relationship is about.
Sure, right. And that's connecting again with your creator. Yes.
That's right. And most people we hear, they get connected to how they say it? We get connected to the creation.
Oh, well, there's a lot of things, I don't really care to debate, whatever, because I think what you're saying is the universe. When people say the universe, and that's one of the big things, the universe, and we know that the universe was created by the creator, God. Right. So not to get combative or to argue over that. But the thing about it, we all were created. And my point is, in your dating, in your marriage seeking, or whatever it is, you have to connect first to your creator.
Absolutely.
It has nothing to do with dating or anybody else, your boo, your wealth, or whatever you're seeking. And we believe just a simple Bible verse that says, and that's Matthew 6:33, says, seek ye first. Not seek the boo first, not seek the husband, not saying I'm looking for my Boaz, and then you will find.
We ain't gonna say. But
okay. All right. So that's the thing. That's all we're saying. This is simple. Yeah. This is nothing deep. It's nothing profound. Or as one of my favorite pastors used to say, no, it's not. I'm not going to do that. Anyway, so the thing is, this is simple, clear cut.
Right.
Okay. Right. So now my point is, you have to be a better you in order to give to somebody, because we sometimes need work. Let's say, and we take the baggage with everything in it, and we try to attach it with someone else and their baggage, whether that's family, whether that's co-workers, whether that's in a relationship, whatever, like say, just my kick it buddy, as some say, or my work husband or work wife, or whatever it is. What I'm saying, you have to align first with the creator.
Absolutely.
Okay, so he can help you discover who you really are.
Yes.
Now, I know there's a lot of sayings, people saying the true self, true self, true self. Oh, it's my true self. But I'm going to have to say this much. If you hadn't connected your creator, and you are saying your true self without connecting,
yeah,
that's not your true self.
no,
No,
you're missing it.
you're perpetrating.
Yeah,
Simply because the one that made you know more about you than you do.
yeah,
And he can teach you a thing or two.
yeah.
So that's the thing we're saying. If we all connect there and say, okay, there's a song, and excuse me for skipping around.
You gonna sing?
There's a song that back in the day that says the greatest love of all is to love. Oh,
y'all gonna put in there
the greatest love of all. Yeah, it's easy to achieve. You know what I'm saying? So they say the greatest love of all is to love yourself.
Yeah,
but before you love yourself, you got to know how to love first your Creator.
And then, how do you think you can learn to love yourself without understanding that you first must love Christ, or understanding the love of Christ, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think you get this love that you build in to give to somebody else?
Giving. That is love. You know, that's the thing. Just as the Bible said, God so loved the world that he did what? He gave. So love is giving, first of all. Okay.
It is ready to do that?
Right. It's having a deep and personal relationship with the Creator. Has nothing to do with nobody else. First of all, if you shut the doors and it's just you and the Creator, then you have to establish that relationship first. That has to be grounded first. Lord, show me who I am. How do I communicate and connect with you?
Right.
And one of the ways is to be humble, to have a humility, and to be able to communicate. Because you've heard that one of the reasons people divorce or relationships break up is because of failed communication.
Yes.
First of all, we got to learn to communicate to the one that created us.
Absolutely.
Some call it prayer. A lot of people call it prayer. But we're just talking about connecting and conversating with our Creator.
It's like this. When sometimes when, we going through things that we going through just before you go to bed, when you wake up, to stop in the middle of the day, what I have done, I just have to have a convo. Like, I need to say, Lord, what's going on? I mean, can you tell me? Because I feel lost right now. I mean, granted, I can go to my husband.
When you say lost, what do you mean by that?
Sometimes it could be in my thoughts. My thoughts are all over the place. I'm not sound in what I'm trusting in. So therefore, I don't want my faith to be unwavering. So I'm sitting up there. I just need.
You mean wavering?
Wavering. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry. Thanks for the correction.
Oh, you wanted to be unwavering.
You know what? You know what? No.
No. You shouldn't want it to be unwavering. You want it to be stable and said not wavering faith. Yeah, well, hey, that's what I do. I look out for my girl.
Anyway, so I do want to say thank y'all so much for all of y'all that have joined. Thank you so much. Please share this live. Share this live. Go ahead and make your comments if you have something that you need to interject or state. But we want to come on, and we wanted to bring on the absence of what we are missing in our relationships. Bring the simple thing. This ain't anything real profound.
Right.
This is not like a big revelation.
It's not.
But most of the time we forget that.
We miss this one.
We miss it.
Because we seek the relationships before we do this.
Before we
and what we do, right. We go and take all that crap somewhere else where our Creator, our God, our Savior, our however we want to say, needs to kind of, how can we say, perfect us as much as possible so we could be available and ready for someone else. So all the things you went through, all the stuff inside you, sometimes, all the time, we need to connect to get that out so we can be, I guess we could say, well, we can get prepared and ready for that boo or that person. So with that, we said we got to learn to connect. We got to have a deep and a personal relationship with it.
Exactly.
We got to learn connection. We got to learn a love connection. We need to learn what true love is, because a lot of times we think that love has something to do with the bedroom. A lot of times,
right?
We do. Yeah. Someone say "I love you," that's where it might end. In a lot of cases, that's where you get, because you love me. Oh wow, no. we need to know how to conduct ourselves in relationship. So connection,
Mhm.
a love connection,
Mhm.
we need to make with our Creator.
Yes.
Also, we need to learn the thing about, as we say, communication, and we
Mhm.
said that's through prayer, conversation with the
Yes.
Creator.
Yes.
You know, Lord, show me the things
Yeah.
that I need. Show me what kind of person I need, so I
Mhm.
can learn to love other people.
Absolutely. Because
So,
how are you even going to project that love of Christ to someone else when you don't even know the personal relationship you should have within yourself?
mhm,
You know, how can I connect to my Creator?
sure.
And how am I able to learn what God can give us to
Mhm,
be able to give to someone else? The grace,
mhm,
the patience.
mhm.
Where do you think you get that from?
What is patience? What is
I'm
patience?
sitting here
Mm.
waiting to be patient.
Okay, what is patience then? What is
What is
patience?
patience?
You know, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely, we're going to say,
Anybody know?
That's
When say what y'all think patience is?
mhm.
I'm sure you know, but go ahead.
Well, okay, the thing about it, more or less patience, we're going to use the word grace in it. It is the ability to put up with a lot of mess
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
without popping off, per
Yes.
se.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and if you did pop off, do it correctly. Do it in a way where it makes your Creator say, "Okay, that's my child."
Yeah, and be
That's it.
humble enough
So yeah.
to accept
Right.
that if you do pop off,
Mhm.
you have to retract, and be humble enough to say, you know what, I messed up.
Mhm.
And I know most of the time, I don't know about y'all, sometimes it's hard to do that. It's hard to see yourself looking
Sure.
in the mirror to know that I messed up, you know, and that also destroys relationships when you're not willing to be humble enough
Okay.
to
Mhm.
accept that you've done wrong, or you've offended, or you have not went to the Creator about handling situations, and then we pop off with this attitude, or we pop off all wrong, join others in our shenanigans. So, you know, I really appreciate y'all for
definitely.
joining in.
For
Thank
joining.
you. I thank you so much. Thank y'all so much. We really appreciate it.
Right.
But, and you know, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, we're on a lot of other streaming platforms. So come join us, share, like. We'll really appreciate any comments, questions, concerns. Even if you have a particular topic you would like for us to share, we would love to dig in and come and talk to you about it. Remember, we will have other people that come in that we're going to be sharing with love-lasting relationships.
Sure.
And
matter of fact,
what?
we went to an event the weekend,
Mhm.
and we met several people that we want to
share
have them
with you all.
on. Especially they do local business,
Yeah.
and they offer services locally, and we
Mhm.
want to do that. And just to and one encouraged fathers, I think another one encouraged, I think, children. One encouraged kids, and
Yeah, but we'll share that
we
more
wanna do
in
that,
our
yes.
other podcasts
Mhm.
as we have them come on and speak on about certain particular subject matters.
Sure.
This
sure.
matter here that we
Mhm.
want to encourage each and every one of you all to seek God first.
Sure.
The missing ingredient, that missing thing,
Mhm.
is understanding who to talk to in order to understand how to talk to others.
And then two, in that developing that relationship with God, your Creator.
Yeah.
One thing there, that's how you develop the faith that you need.
Yes.
And that's even in the Word,
Mhm.
as well. And then learning and developing trust.
Right.
That's because that's a factor you're going to need in relationships.
Yes.
Because
yes.
Again, last week we had a question about cheating.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So now, usually, if a couple deals with cheating,
Mhm.
let's say, and the question was asked, can you rebuild that in a relationship? Or is the relationship more or less lost? And we think the trust factor needs to be there, first of all. And if we learn these things and connect with our God like we need to, then it may avoid us getting into situations where we create distrust in a relationship.
Yeah. See,
go
we also
ahead.
can have
Mhm.
situations where, somebody can say, well, I've talked to my creator about this situation. And,
Sure.
we've dealt with this. And it didn't
Right.
change.
It didn't change.
It made it worse.
But talking to the creator made it worse?
No. No, after not talking to your creator. Say, use an example. I talked to the creator about developing a relationship with someone as a potential spouse, or I have talked to God. I'm praying because I'm looking for an opportunity and I need revelation, and it ain't working. It ain't like happening
right
the way we desire. So did we just talk about that patience word? We did talk about patience. And it's not always, it's not the easiest thing. Right,
to wait, to wait is not. That's the thing about it. And if it becomes something there where you figure, oh, I should be married by now, or whatever, I should have a boo by now, I should have, my fiance, I should have this or that in life, then these are the things where you need to, we need to learn patience. Absolutely. And follow him out, because he does it in his time, not our time. Right. And that's the thing. Right. So once, whether that's in a relationship or whatever, because again, we have to learn these characteristics or these assets. We have to learn these ahead of time before seeking again the relationship or the things in life, the stuff per se. So,
and you know what that proposes vulnerability.
Well,
or when you're talking to your creator.
Well, you have to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because number one, what does our God not know about us? He sees us naked. Yeah. Basically, he sees through and knows everything. So we're already in a vulnerable. So we learn that being in a vulnerable state, but we know that our God will not take advantage of us in our vulnerable state. Right. But now people will quickly take advantage. So as we learn how the Creator, our God, whether you say Yahshua, whether you say Elohim, Yahweh, Jehovah, whatever, not even the point here in that, but we have to develop a relationship. Yes. I believe there's one creator, and people may differ, and that's not our point to try to have an argument or just to go bam, at each other. It's not about that. It's our belief. Not about us. Yeah, it's our. This is our belief where we are, and we want to build on that. And these are the things that we feel are the missing ingredient. People don't talk, and I'm saying people. A lot of people don't talk about this part of it, but we believe again. One of the first verses that says again, Matthew 6:33, we says that seek ye first the kingdom. Yes. So we have to be followers of that word in order to get the results. So it says, once you seek ye first the kingdom of God, then all these things. Now, what are all what things? Everything. All what things? Everything I'm looking for, whether that's your house, whether that's your job, whether it's your spouse, whether that's your boo, because it will. Learning these things and developing a relationship with God helps us know how to conduct and carry ourselves in a relationship with someone else.
And guess what? It's a continual thing.
Yes.
It's a continual thing, because it's like Charles and I, my husband and I, we constantly talk to God about certain things that we may go through.
Sure.
We working on this little project now, right? And working on this little project outside. I have my thoughts. He has his thoughts. And, sometimes it get out of control because...
Well, you say get out of control.
When I'm saying out of control,
because we don't be fighting.
No. Ain't no need for all that, right?
Stop that.
No.
Yes.
We both
I said we stopped that.
Okay,
you didn't even catch it.
I
okay,
did.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay. But we forget about coming together. I'm gonna say me, okay? All right, he be saying it was me. And then we have in our own mind about why you talking to me like that? I mean, I was gonna do that this way, or whatever it may be. Then we get an attitude, and sometimes it pays, like for real. When I say developing a successful relationship, every time it pays. When it start getting a little out of pocket,
yeah, well,
stop.
going south look like things down there. Like, oh boy,
stop. Just stop.
And that's one of the things that we're learning.
Yeah. Lord, just help us do this. Help us do this because.
I'm sorry. I'm going to interject something. Excuse me. But you said this last week that we've learned to stop, drop,
and pray.
Not roll.
Stop, drop, and pray. And that's what.
I keep that in mind. I said we might stop. No, go ahead. Okay, finish up. Finish up. Just finish up talking. I'll stop.
He's not going to digress either. But all I want to say in admitting, sometimes it takes grace.
Sure.
Even for those that you have, you know, you talked to God about, you prayed about certain things. Before you go there, make sure you're confident that you heard from God. Because anything that is against God, anger, thinking that you're going to draw your hand on somebody.
I'm sorry.
What are you trying to interrupt me?
I'm sorry. But when I hear things sometimes that might need a little challenging, I'm going to say, forgive me. I'm not going to have to roll you back a little bit and challenge you on something you just said. You just say something about things that are not like what? You say God, not like, what'd you say about God?
I said it's not like God.
So anger is not like God?
Not now.
Okay, you go correct.
The result of your anger.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
so
the result is God. God can be
the word teaches be angry
and sin not.
But sin not. Just don't do wrong. Okay, I just want to make sure that
being angry and not sinning with your anger. Okay, you want to clarify.
There's a way to act when you're angry. Right.
So absolutely. when that happens, sometimes you gotta pump the brakes. Like pump the brakes on you. Check yourself. Am I hearing from God, or am I hearing from my own attitude? Am I hearing from how I think it should be done? So, that missing ingredient that we wanted to share about today is the simple thing.
It is. Right.
It's
nothing very deep. Go ahead.
It wasn't explosive. Oh my gosh, it's raining from down or whatever. No, but it could be.
Right. Yeah.
Because if you're missing it, if you miss it,
right,
then your relationship with people, your relationship with your spouse, your relationship on your job,
even your relationship with yourself,
can be explosive.
Yes.
It can be explosive. It can be damaging. So when you know to seek God first, to have that successful relationship, then you are on the right path.
Sure.
But when you get destructive and do it within your own self, you will miss it.
And there are a few things too that you learn in developing that relationship. We talked about a few things. Patience is one of them.
Yes.
Being able to communicate. And that's talking to God, praying. Okay, meaning what is prayer? Communicate, conversation with God.
That's
Simple
right.
as that. Okay. We talk about developing a deep and a personal relationship.
Yes.
Because instead of going out somewhere else trying to build a deeper relationship, you will understand what that's about when we get in His Word and when we understand and connect with our Creator God.
Absolutely.
So another thing we talked about vulnerability, because again, we're open when we come before, and that's the thing, you have to be in a relationship, especially in an intimate relationship. What I'm saying with a spouse or someone there. And when I say intimate, a lot of times we take a bunny hop and we go to the bedroom. Okay, let's talk about that. You can be intimate and it has nothing to do with the bedroom.
Right.
Because we know that we can develop a relationship with God, our Creator, or however you want to say, and that is an intimate relationship. Yeah. That means that's you and that's Him.
Right.
Okay, so is that intimate? That means I pour my heart out into this relationship. I'm open. I'm vulnerable, as we say, and I am transparent. Yes, absolutely. This is me. You see me how I am. Help me to be what you desire me to be.
Yes.
And once you do that, I'm that now for someone else.
Yes.
Now, trying to seek that while you're broken, trying to seek somebody else while you're broken.
You're gonna have a crumbled mess.
And they have, in case they haven't done the same, gotten connected with the Creator, then you will have a big mess.
Yeah.
So guess what? And then the intimacy part of it, we know it has nothing to do, if we're connecting with our Creator, it has nothing to do with the bedroom, right? Okay, so then that means that when we connect with other people, it shouldn't have anything to do with the bedroom, unless it's your spouse. So I'm not trying to get on anybody and clown anybody for what you do, but I'm saying that when we connect to our Creator, we can't roll the way we used to.
Right,
okay?
but even can I say, well, okay,
so,
say it don't have anything to do with our spouse,
what?
but the intimacy.
No, the first intimacy with the Creator
intimacy
has nothing to do with anybody else.
Absolutely.
That's you locked in the closet. That's you with the doors closed and the Creator. There's nobody.
But the thing is,
can
you not say you can have that intimacy with your Creator, with your spouse?
Okay, we're talking the missing ingredient. That's coming, what you're saying?
No. What I'm saying,
go ahead.
Have it with your spouse together.
We're not talking about a spouse right now.
I know.
So, see, you're jumping a few weeks right now. So
no.
Understand.
Listen,
yes, hopefully that will be the case.
Hear me out. All I'm
that
saying,
will be the case. Hopefully.
Say is he ain't listening. God,
oh Lord, there you go. He ain't listening. See, I'm ready to pray now. I'm ready to drop and pray. Go ahead.
What I'm saying, if we are at odds with each other.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
We can go together to God in prayer about what the issue is. They're having that intimacy with Christ together.
Because there's a saying, you become intimate with the one you pray to, with the one you pray with, and with the ones you pray for. So that's it. But I ain't want you jumping no next
right here. Over the next
day. But you're right. You're right.
So I'm just saying.
We good. We good, my love. Okay, all right. Let's get back to it.
My grandson does that.
So, all right.
I want, as we come to a conclusion about this, right? I mean, because we don't have to take all day to say what we want to talk to you about as far as the missing ingredient.
One thing I want to say,
and that is,
before we do is that we talked about having an intimate relationship.
Right.
The next thing, and in that intimate relationship, that's where we learn. It's a big word coming that a lot of people, I mentioned last week, that there's a word called insatiable. I think some say insatiable or insatiable. In other words, it's hard to be satisfied. So in other words, when we develop that relationship, we learn to become monogamous with our Creator.
Our Creator.
Right. Absolutely. Not serving any other body, any other God, any other thing, but we learn that monogamous there. And
thank y'all so much again. I want to say
thank you.
Please share and like and comment. Not interrupt you. I just want to.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Right. Definitely. Right.
Site there.
Thank you all. Yeah. Thank you all for listening. And the thing is, so with that monogamy and that intimacy,
that one-on-one,
we're talking with you and the Creator.
Yeah.
I'm not talking, with you
no
shaking anything.
No.
None of that. We're not even talking about any of that. We're talking about you with our God. And once we get that relationship, I'm not going to say perfected, but once we get that relationship established, it helps us to move on to the family relationship, to the co-workers, to the other, friends, and even with the potential spouse or the dating, the boo. It helps us to conduct ourselves in a proper manner with that.
What the big one too. Now we talked about the relationship with various different people and things. One of the other big things besides spouse and friends is family.
Sure.
Family.
Okay, what do you mean? One of the big things.
We miss that one ingredient of talking to God about being able to communicate. And family, my gosh, can be so destructive because they have not gotten the first
If
thing,
they have not.
if they have not
Right. Exactly.
gotten the first
Mhm.
reality of how to communicate,
Mhm.
and then pop off all wrong. And families can be so divided. Somebody had asked me, "Are you not able?" If they're trying to chat on YouTube, so
Okay.
you should, because
we're
it's
not
open.
seeing anything.
I'm not seeing
on
any
any
chats,
comments,
but
anything. We're not
maybe
sure.
that'll be our learning curve
Yes.
there. But
As we go
I'll
through
put
it,
it up a little bit. But if you do have a question,
Mhm.
just put it in the chat. We may see it afterwards, and we'll go ahead and address it. We'll address it at that time.
Mhm.
Okay. Let me see.
Is that what we do?
I don't know. Let me see. What you
Okay.
got?
I'm trying to look and see. Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
What is it?
We'll figure.
I don't know what the edit is. I don't know.
Okay. I don't see
So,
anything.
We'll get back with you.
Just so we don't mess up anything.
Let me see.
Okay. We'll see whether we see anything.
Because when I
We're not
started,
seeing
it's
any comments.
open to comments from everybody.
But we're not seeing anything.
But my my point in saying is how destructive relationships can be without this missing ingredient.
Sure.
And most of the times when it comes to a dismantled family feud, it's because the barriers have been broken down because somebody did not go to the source 1st.
Right. So this is an important ingredient, like I say, to successful relationships, and that's all relationships.
Somebody asked, we can see the comments on TikTok if you have,
Okay.
if you're on TikTok.
Yes.
But
Okay.
for some reason, I can't see them on YouTube. It might be,
Right.
if you put it on there, we'll see it later. But I'm welcoming any comments. As we wind down, we hope that you understand our point. And go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that we don't make any, we don't try to hide the fact that we try to base marriage on biblical principles and all, and even with relationships with people. So one thing we believe that you ought to treat people like you want to be treated.
Absolutely.
Very, very one of the strongest points there. So we do, and even with that, we believe in getting it right first. Again, say with God, with Yahweh, with the Most High. Elohim. We believe in getting things right. There first.
And it's a building.
It is a building. It didn't happen right.
It's just not anything that happens overnight. It may take a while, especially if we're dealing with damaged relationships.
And that's the foundation, though,
right.
Before we go to other relationships. So, and that's what we wholeheartedly believe. Because again, if you are broken, you only taking the broken stuff and the broken junk to give to somebody else. You say, hey, look, here I am. Take me as I am. Bam. And there's the thing. So we believe in getting fixed as much as possible.
Absolutely.
And I know fix, what does that mean? That's a loaded term.
Yeah.
But we believe again connecting with the Creator. Like I say, the thing about it, that's where we also learn one big word that we go. That's where we learn commitment. Because again, we mentioned that our God is a monogamous God. We learn intimacy there, and we learn commitment. So that's the thing. We're dealing with a lot of issues today that in a heartbeat we'll walk away from relationships. We'll walk away from marriages. We'll walk away from the job, whatever. We'll walk away from our children. And that's the thing. We got to learn to be committed. We got to learn to be committed.
And until we learn that, we're just going to be damaged and adding to more turmoil in relationships. Right. So, we, like I said, we haven't perfected the art, but we are
not
working
by any
on
means,
it.
Right.
Like I said, 47 years with in this journey here.
Sure.
And I wouldn't take it no other way.
Right.
But I do know that over time of 47 years, he had to learn that the most important thing in our relationship was being able to communicate.
Sure.
And knowing who first to communicate with. Because as he said, it's
Thank
so
you.
profound. It's so profound that you learn to be intimate with those
you pray
you
to,
pray to,
you pray
you
with,
pray with, and you pray for.
Right.
So where's your godly intimacy? Who are you being godly intimate with? We ain't talking about physical stuff.
And that's the thing. Usually intimacy, we know that most minds go to the Luther Vendrums with the red or the black light or the purple light, and we're thinking,
you back
intimacy.
in the day.
Yeah, definitely back in the day. But still today too, got the purple light up there.
Oh, okay.
But you can't see it. Do I need to turn the camera up so you can see?
No.
So that's the thing. That's it. We get so, and we think everything has to do with our body. We think everything has to do there, but instead,
specialize so much.
Let it be the spiritual first. Let it be the spiritual, and I say first because the spiritual getting right will help us to guide how we do in this body.
Absolutely.
So, and that's our message tonight.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's not. I guess some people think profound. We expect somebody to get on with these nice words or big words or whatever to try to slack somebody out. Nah, it's simple.
Words. It's not even about all that.
It is
with
simple.
us, we are simplistic. We want to be transparent. Keep it real.
Yes.
I mean, keep it real, like real life about what's happening today, and how it affects us today when we don't get it right. So, thank y'all so much. So much for hanging in here with us. And,
yes.
I apologize if we don't get to see your comments on YouTube, but we'll get it right next time.
Yes, sir. We're getting better, with this technology, because they shouldn't trust technology to senior people anyway. But we're getting better. We're getting better with it. Okay.
Well, you must have took a little child when you got married. Because I ain't that old.
So anyway,
cut it out.
So what we're looking to do as we develop a relationship with you, we want to share ideas. Again, we haven't arrived. We need a community, and that's what, especially, I'm going to say this, especially our Black community, because over the years, there are things that have driven us away from us and the focus, just like even with men, a lot of children growing up in homes without fathers, that kind of thing. And we need to get back. We need to claim our children. And that's the thing that that gets me sometimes.
Yes, and that's also what he's going to be building up on when he connecting with men. Somebody asked, how can you get some merch? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We got some other stuff that we would like to share.
Sure.
And we'll send the link out. Love. I appreciate you all connecting and being interested in what we're talking about.
Sure.
Please involve yourself. Thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you. Right now, we project to come on once a week. We try to put out some little snippets, every day. So connect with us. I don't know what's going on with the social media, whatever they plan to do. But guess what? We can go around that. Any kind of way. God will provide, right?
Yes. And also, too, at the same time, if there's any resource that you have, a talent that you have that can enhance what we're doing, please shout it out to us. Definitely.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate everybody that at least you spent time out of your day to listen to us and what we have to share. Like I say, no means we've made it. We still do have our, everyday challenges and struggles that we deal with. We've gone through a few things, I can say, and we want to share those experiences. We know you've gone through a few things. So with that, we want to exchange, because that's what love is. Love is giving. Yes.
And as a tribe, most of the times we could be struggling through the same thing.
And being silent about it. See, that's what we don't like.
Right.
Being silent.
So, as from sister to sisters, I want to impart being able to, that we can have a collection of women that we talk about life, love, and relationships. That encompasses so much. The same with, my husband, where he will bond and talk. We need this so much to get through.
Yes.
To get through, where we are right now and where we're going to be. Right. So, thank y'all again so much.
Thank you.
I
Really,
appreciate spending the
from
time
the bottom
with you.
of our hearts, we do. We appreciate
You know,
it.
we coming back to you with another podcast. And
as we say, after we had last week, we talked about we had a 3-year sabbatical. We're coming back. This is our second week.
We needed a moment.
And yes, we had a lot of things going on.
We were moving. We were building. We had some medical stuff. But guess what? But God. Got us through.
We're back. We're back. So we want to share, like I said, those life experiences. Yeah. So our next podcast, actually, to keep on this subject, we'll talk about. No, we're gonna stay on relationships. So we're gonna keep building on this part, and we're gonna go on from there.
Stay tuned.
We're gonna build. Yes,
to see
please.
what one we're talking about.
So
and as we connect and you connect with us, say, then we'll be able to get the comments.
Right,
I got my love family connecting with us. I love y'all so much. And you know, stay tuned to next week because there's a different type of relationship we're talking about. And how we build it. Right. So hearing from you and having any questions about, you know, I may have gone through it. Charles may have gone through it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk through it. So as we are closing out for the night, we thank y'all so much. And I am a little hungry. So we're going to get ready to have some dinner late in the evening.
And we're going to work on an ebook on this subject. That's what we're going to do.
Yes, the ebook is coming out.
We're going to release it.
And please take a look at our other podcasts from the past on YouTube. And we may have some that's still out there on the other social media platforms.
Spotify.
Please, Spotify. Please like, share, send all your comments. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube so you'll know when we come up on live or we're bringing up new content that you'll be alerted.
Sure.
So much love to each and every one of you all. We need you to connect that one. And hope to talk to you soon. Okay?
Sure. All right.
Have a good night.
Prayers for you. And again, we thank you all for joining us again. Have a good night.
Bye.
All right, we'll talk to you.
Bye, fam. Now we gotta figure out how to stop. Let's see. Okie dokie. I ended.